final day of the regular season. Viessmann World Cup number 8 for women's bobsled. We're at a snowy Königssee in Bavaria, just outside one of the hearts of winter sliding in Berchtesgaden. Hello everybody, Martin Haven, and alongside me in the booth, John Morgan, joining a crowd of tens of thousands here, John, on a very wintry day.
This is also the European Championships, so all the Americans and Canadians that are in the front will give way to the European champion. It's a big deal for these Europeans, this European Championship. Here's the highlights of the first run, and boy, it was exciting. Right off the bat, here's Jasmine Fenelator and Lolo Jones. They started way back in 90, but they were the best American sled. They were 4th at the end of the first run. They were part of a field of 8, 9, 10, 11 who started them, who all had great speed on the bottom part of the track. Kind of believe that that placing allowed them to have that speed. And now here comes one of the two German sleds. Here's Christine Martini and her brakeman Senkel, who they've done very well on this track. Kathleen Martini, excuse me, she's had a doldrums year, but she had great speed, bottom part of the track. There wasn't any snow going on when she came down. But here's the story of the day. Wow, I just can't believe this. Fabian Meyer, she started with like 13, 14 hundredths behind the leader, started in the 11th position, and she was only 2 hundredths behind at the bottom. The Swiss, they were shocked what they did yesterday. They were 2nd and 4th in the two-man competition, 1st and 2nd in the European competition. But here's the two who really did it. Kaylee Humphries, Heather Moyse, start record at the top of the track. Shocking how fast they were at the start. And I think the Olympic champion from 2010 is out to make a statement that she will be the favorite going in to Sochi, because she was very impressive in that first run.
So here's how they finished with Fabian Meyer of Switzerland, the surprise 2nd place. Last time out in the European Champions, Germany went 1, 2, 3. Kathleen Martini, the top German, is 3rd at the moment and only 2nd for the European sleds. Jasmine Fenelator had a great run. The Belgians, the Dutch had strong runs, but some of the German sleds struggled. Anja Schneiderheinz was 1st on the ice, ends up over 3/4 of a second off the pace, and she took the European Championship silver medal last time out. Lolo Jones there, warming up with Judith Viess in the orange, the Dutch brakewoman. And they're doing it on this tarmac running track in the falling snow just outside this huge start facility. 2 degrees air temperature, minus 0.7 degrees of ice. But the snow so far, John Morgan, has not been as much of a factor as we feared. It's not quite as heavy as it was early this morning.
No, and it hasn't really affected the competition other than that 8 to 12 in that slot where the athletes went down in the 8 to 12 position seemed to have a real good speed on the bottom part of the track. So we'll see how things equal out here in the 2nd run. There's our leader, Kaylee Humphries.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, she really is making a statement, isn't she? She's won 3 races so far this season, and she wants to peak going into the game. She saw Fabian Meyer, Lolo Jones doing the workout, the warm-up, and 3 track and field athletes on the back of the US sleds in their number 1 selection.
There's other track and field athletes on the other European sleds too, in Australia. I mean, there's track and field that really athletes have crossed over to bobsled this season for sure.
Yeah, it's been a big sign of the changing times in women's bobsled the last 2 years, how much track has provided the horsepower as well as the speed. Well, our sleds go in reverse order of their first heat performance, with the Russians not here and a couple of other major nations absent. It is a 15 sled field. Astrid Radjenovic celebrates Australia Day with teammate Jana Pittman. This will be Astrid's last slide before the Winter Games, and then her career will be brought to an end. And our final 5, Esme Campus, Netherlands, poised for a European medal. But John, we had such an insane first heat. This 2nd one should be a real barnstormer.
Yeah, the track was strange how people were achieving speeds in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th positions that it was perplexing. So we'll see how it does now.
Astrid Radjenovic, Jana Pittman.
Pittman, the world-class 400-meter athlete, and world champion. And she'll be the first ever athlete from Australia, we think, that had competed in the Winter and Summer Games, male or female.
Yep. 5:38, a little bit quicker than their first start.
You know, watch that speed. That start speed is so everything.
There's two clocks very close together, and it really charts your progress as you get into the S's. Now down onto this long bend away, as the Americans call it, what is laughingly referred to as the straight here. See, there's so much snow on the edge of the track. 114.9 kilometers an hour. That's 71.5 miles an hour.
Look at this little tricky place down here, the Königssee curve, and then into the Echovant here. Now the track comes uphill. You can't make any mistakes here. You could lose a lot of time. The last 200 meters is all uphill.
Less speed in the Kreisel turn than they had in the first heat, but still a quicker run.
Wow.
So work out how that works. Less mistakes at the bottom is the simple answer.
She shouldn't be in 15th place. She's 10th, 11th. We got a nice text from her dad watching down in Australia.
Yeah, hey Jim.
Jim, thanks for those nice words.
It's a family watching down there.
And look at these lines in this thing we call the Königssee curve. That is the most notorious stretch 100-meter track that exists on any bobsled track on the planet.
Well, Astrid, now an Aussie, married to a Serb, but her heritage comes from the northeast of England and from Scandinavia, so work out that combination. Next up, Christina Hengster of Austria with Viola Kleiser, new addition to the sled after the Christmas break, and another athlete being brought in to try and boost this starting performance, so vital for the Sochi Games.
Look, listen to the music they're playing. Crowd at the bottom, they play the music for the country.
Strauss.
They do everything so right here in Germany on this Bavarian track to present the sport. The only thing missing is the Germans doing well, and the only discipline they're doing well in is this woman's bob. But look at that big hit on curve one, and then she bangs there, more of a skid. She's +4 already and no speed. That's going to cost her more. Let's see the eket of the snake pit. That's a 4-corner combination, 4 S's. They call it the Slandgruber.
Big skid down into Jena, really in trouble for speed. 1:14.5, slower than Astrid Wilkinson. Astrid Radjenovic. Throw back there.
She's got a lot of time to make up here. She can do that. Bottom part of the track, you can find time with perfect lines. This Austrian, though, so much promise the last couple of years. She has done nothing this year to improve. She is flat or gone reverse.
Kind of the opposite of the skeleton athlete Janine Flock, who was progressing slowly, and this year is taking a quantum leap.
His son won a bronze medal yesterday for Austria in the Junior World Championship, so Manfred's got to feel good about that, but he's not feeling good about his Austrian pilot here.
He's got 3 sliding sons.
Look at the body language. Look at the mistake. Watch her jump here. That's too early. Look at the sled jump mid-air, change. Now that causes her to skid here. Bang, can't do that. That's mortal sin in the sport, especially on this track. Speed is everything. You want to gather everything that Mother Nature gives you.
So it is Astrid Radjenovic who leads from Christina Hengster. The Aussies ahead of the Austrians. Alphabetical order so far then. 13th after the first of our 2 heats, both of which count to the final result. Caroline Spani, former brakewoman from Switzerland, with her new brakewoman, Ariana Walser.
5:33 start in the first run. Spani didn't have a very good drive compared to her teammate Myers, who's second. Swiss sleds have been doing awesome on this track, as they always do. I can remember back the Swiss swept the European Championships here. 1, 2, 3, Christian Reich, Martin Annan, Marcel Wohner. And yesterday the Swiss were second, 4th in the World Cup, 1st and 2nd in the European Championships. And one of their sleds is in 2nd here in this competition. Spani's had a great year.
Ooh,
That's speed.
There we got the first decent speed.
She didn't have very good speed in the first run.
In fact, that's
much better.
About the same speed as the first run, but she's way ahead of her rivals on time. 7/10 up over Astrid Radjenovic at the moment.
Needs to be clean. She is. She's accelerating away. Yeah. This is what she needed in the first run. Perfect run. 52.12. She's 70, 87 hundredths better.
First run time for our race leader, Katie Humphries, 52.12.
She had a bad first run.
There you go. She can get the consistency. She could be in the top. Caroline Spani of Switzerland, your race leader.
She did it right all the way, right through the place we call the Kelstenstein curve. Look at this three-quarter little flat labyrinth. Wow. Then into that curve they call the C curve. Great pressure. She did this in the first run. She'd be right up there with her teammates.
Spani now 31. Top of the track for Canada, Jennifer Cocchetti and Chelsea Valois lying 12th after the first of our two heats here in Königssee. Martin Haven, John Morgan watching the action trackside in the falling snow.
These two athletes were both world champions in the last couple of years. Oz Brakeman on the back of Kaylee Humphries' sled. But I'm perplexed that they don't get better starts than they do. 5:34 in the first run was the 11th best start of the heat. I mean, that tells you how good a pusher that Kaylee Humphries is.
Yeah.
But Jennifer making the transition from the back seat to the front seat, like Kaylee Humphries did, like a lot of athletes do. And the Canadians have got some pretty good lines in this track. The Canadian men, Justin Cripps, won the gold medal yesterday in two-man bob. It's his first ever medal. And it was a gold on a Bavarian track. She's down 500ths. This is Astrid Budenovich tells you, or the Spani, excuse me.
Yeah. Little quicker than her first run, but not very much.
She's going to fall behind Spani. There's no way to catch that of her. Second best time, 52.36. Good time. Really.
Still 6/10 quicker than their first heat, but Spani made such a big leap forward.
She could live in that leader's box for 5 or 6 more sleds. Look at the crowd. Here's the start. I don't understand it. These two are too good athletes to get the 10th or 11th best start. So I'm sure the Canadians will figure out how to make these two great athletes have better starts. And then watch these awesome pictures. Watch the way this is a natural transition. They come around this little curve, then they got to bump twice. The natural progression is to bump there, bump the other side. That's normal.
There is Jen and Chelsea, currently lying in second spot to Caroline Spani. And now the first of our 3 German sleds. A silver medalist in the Europeans last year, Anja Schneider-Heinze. She's got Lisette Turner behind her.
They were the first ones down in the competition. I think they're at a disadvantage. They had a 5:32 start in the first run. They should do better than that. 5:29.
Yeah, Turner took a little while to settle. Good start. They're in 11th place after the first heat, which is not what the Germans are looking for.
Well, I say she's got a chance to win, but that Swiss sled just came down, made no mistakes. And Schneider-Heinze doesn't have a consistency. That's not the right. There's a couple of skids.
Speed on the wrong line.
117 speed. She doesn't have that. She's a kilometer half down. These green numbers are going to start looking closer to red, unless she's perfect out here. There's the red numbers. How good a run did Caroline Spani have?
Yeah, Spani had a great run, and Schneider-Heinze is having a bit of a disappointing one. This is not as good as her first.
No, she's going to fall back maybe 2 places. This is so disappointing to her
Maybe
in front of the German market. Wow.
It is 3 spots further back.
Look at him. There's nobody more frustrated in the whole area than Christoph Lund.
That was still nearly 4/10 better than her first run, but
the Germans, 8th, 10th, and 11th in the men's competition yesterday. I've never seen that. They're at least promising medalists here. Women's bob. Brakeman takes a long time to get it in here, Lisa Toneo, and I don't know what that is here.
She's trying to get her feet around the little seat back.
Yeah, she's not. She hasn't sat down all the way there.
She's got a high spike.
But that wasn't the problem. The problem here is, watch, coming around with too much spin on the back end. Bang.
Well, you know what it's like when you're driving on snow, John. The back end is a mind of its own.
Climbing a kilometer and a half less speed, and she goes right to the locker room.
Yeah, not much to say about that, except it's done, it's history. Caroline Spani, our race leader, from Jennifer Cocchetti and the disappointed Schneider-Heinze. Team USA's Jamie Grubel and Lauren Williams, start record monsters last weekend on their way to the first ever win for Grubel in their first weekend pushing together. 10th place here in Königssee after the first heat. John Morgan, these girls could improve a lot.
5:28. Lauren had problems getting in there. She had 5:24 in the first run, but Lauren jumped in and her left and right shoulders did not come through together. And Grubel did not have that good a run. She started number 3.
Well, we know from last weekend she can do it. That's a big game changer for an athlete. Now she'll be disappointed not to be on the podium.
1:16.8, that's a half a kilometer down to the Swiss, and there's enough time she can lose here in the bottom. She needs to be perfect. It's down to 15. I don't know. That kilometer, half kilometer was huge on the exit of Kreisel.
Spani had such a monstrous run.
She's high there.
Gets the exit.
And it's even, she's gonna lose it. Spani's gonna get her.
I think Spani has it. She's in the red, and Jamie Grubel slips a spot by 600. How much is Caroline Spani excited there on the right, and Ariana Valsa?
The Swiss sleds are flying on this track.
Well, if you're in red and white, Canada and Switzerland, what a weekend you're having so far.
Jamie Grubel, I think if they show us the start, I think we're going to see a mishap, Lauren Williams here. But, you know, give Lauren credit. Watch her get in here. Now watch, you're supposed to get in. Your arms are supposed to come over your head together. Watch what happens to Lauren here. 1, 2, and look at that, see? Now that's turning. That doesn't seem like much. You know, on the sled or in the grooves there, but that's not good energy. Back here on the, look at the sled. Bang, airborne. Boy, that's a lot of steer in there.
Yeah.
It's lost 1,500s in the bottom part of the track.
There's Jamie Grubel, last week's winner. Now then, Paula Walker of Great Britain, her and Rebecca Wilson, big Becks on the back of this sled. This is Great Britain's women's Olympic lineup. They got a good chance now to advance this very tight group in the middle of the field.
6'1" driver, 5'2" brakeman.
Yeah.
And decent. 5:32 start in the first run, 5:35 there, not good speed. 40.8. Walker's gonna need a perfect run to stay ahead of the Swiss, even though she's got 3/10. On this track, you're going through what they call the snake pit, 4 S's, the S's they call them. The exit.
That's a good exit.
Not bad, hits once, hits twice, hits 3 times, hits 4,
snow.
5, 6, then it's over. It's over. Watch the speed, 116 speed, 114, lowest speed.
Up. Yeah,
it's
very
over.
slow.
I gotta watch the exit here and believe she's gonna be close to the red right here. There's the 9.
900ths of her lead remains, and it will go backwards because Spani was so fast off the Kreisel.
Well, she was straight. Now she's got to be perfect here on the Ecovon. She's not.
Place.
Now the question is, will she fall over 1 place? Oh, she hits again there.
Oh,
5th best time of the run.
Well, 52.63 for her, 52.12 for Caroline Spani. Sensational run from Spani.
Spani had a bad first run.
Yeah,
or she'd be up in the top 5.
She had a genius second run.
Well, Swiss sleds. Here's the exit of the snake pit, the 4 S's, but she hits 5 times. There's allowance for 2 hits.
And
watch as she gets
through
sideways
all that
here.
snow.
Look at that. I mean, she had speed, the 2.5 kilometers down. And watch here, too. In the middle of the curve, watch the change of direction of the sled here. She steered way too much, hit the left side. Look at there, airborne. Not how to do it. And she goes to the locker room.
Paula Walker in 3rd, Jamie Grubel in 2nd, Caroline Spani still leads. Alana Myers and Asia Evans lying in 8th place after the first of our 2 heats here in Königssee. Let's see if this standout woman driver from the USA, she's one of 3 in the running for the World Cup title.
5:20 start, 200's better than their first run, but the Canadians outstarted them. Last week they outstarted the Canadians and broke the track record in Innsbruck. Gailey Humphries and Heather Moyes come out here and shattered the start record to sort of say, hey, we are the best starting team in the world, and they proved it in the first run. Myers, huge lead. She's not worried. Oh, that's too many hits.
Oh, it's all sliding away. It's very skiddy. Sounds silly to say the ice is being made more slippery by the snow, but it is. The runners don't get the purchase they should.
Huge lead here, and she had that in the first run. She needs to be clean down here on the exit of Ecovon. The sled's got to come straight at us going uphill.
Building speed all the time, 7,500.
Watch the last exit. No, she hits that perfect. great run, 51.67.
That's the fastest sled down the track so far today.
93 hundredths of a second better in her first run.
Yeah, wow.
We got a fast track here.
Nearly a full second quicker, holy moly.
And, you know, does she have a bad first run?
Yeah, she did, but that is a great second run. Now, how much quicker are we going to go? Will the track record be in danger in the snow?
Look at these lines through the, hits hard there. That's in that Kalstein curve, and then watch these pictures. Watch her come over to the left side of the screen here. Look at, she hits hard here, and that forces her front runner, who was airborne. Not the perfect line through there, but she's the leader.
She's giving lessons. Now, she overhauls Jamie Grubel in the points as of now to go second. But Kaylee Humphries, race leader, looks like she will win the World Cup crown. What about Alpha Williamson and Hannah Maring? What a standout season these Belgian girls have been having since they got back to European tracks. Just been blistering.
Another world-class athlete, track and field athlete in the back, 4x100 world champion, Olympic medalist. But they give up 25 hundredths to Myers here at the start. Watch, this probably is going to be like a 48, 46. 45.
Okay.
So she's plus 20, 40.2. That's going to get up to 30 or 35 at the next clock. 30. And the S's, but watch out. This Alpha Williamson is so fast on the bottom of every track she's on. Look at these lines. Look at. These are the 210s. She might have 118 speed. 117.9, best speed. This is what she's been doing all season.
Yep. New livery.
Look at the lines. Back to 32 hundredths. She could do it.
She needs to be magical down at the bottom here. Her speed is very strong. Her lines are good. A tiny tap on the wall.
I don't think she's going to catch her.
Is going to lead, but by single digits, maybe.
Second,
no.
51.93. Got a little tap. Still good.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
to give up so much time at the start and still achieve the speed she does on all these tracks. It's not the arrow, it's the archer.
Yeah.
She is some driver.
She's going to finish top 6 European Championships, no question about that.
Speed on the bottom part of the track. She needs to be perfect here on the exit where you're going uphill, and she's not. Comes down early, comes to the left side, a tap there. That little tap, when you're going uphill, magnifies 2 or 3 times.
Only 4 more European sleds to go. You're looking at top European there. Next up, Sandra Kyriasis. She's the reigning European women's bobsled champion, with Franziska Bertels behind her then, Franziska Fritz behind her this weekend.
She'll give up a lot of time, probably 5:32, 5:33. She'll give up 10, 12 hundredths. Ooh, something came off the sled there. Some kind of snow, 5:34, 40.7. She's half a kilometer down to Myers, but this is a very, very magical pilot here. If anybody can get through these 4 curves, the snake pit perfectly, it's Kyriasis, who's dominated women's bobsleigh in the last decade. Look at these lines.
She won only once this year, home ice in Winterberg, Germany.
3 times.
This will be her last ever World Cup
speed. She's red numbers, but that type of speed. Perfect exit down here. How clean will she be here? Down to 16.
She's
clean.
producing the goods again.
Here she comes.
She has every year of this century.
Last chance for clean right here. She'll have a chance. Down to 7. This is going right to the 100th of a second.
Take the lead from Alana Myers at the line. Ducks ahead, 500s back. 51.81. Alana Myers was faster in that second heat, 51.67.
She
and that is the last ever World Cup race for Sandra Kyriasis.
What a great run, Elena. That was a fantastic.
After the Olympic Games, she is gone.
Not the way she wants to go to Sochi. Cut to her coach, Matthias Hoffner. Look at the runner. She's skidding out of the S's, out of the snake pit. The viper nest got her because she skidded out of there. She didn't exit cleanly, and then she hits 3 times.
Yep.
The magical hit is 2. And you'll see some of these athletes come through here. But still, the sportsman she is.
And the crowds here in Germany love her for her success and her enthusiasm. 5 sleds to go here in Königssee, Bavaria. Martin Haven, John Morgan watching the action trackside with you. Final regular season run of the Women's Bobsled World Cup. And the European Championships at stake. Esme Campus and Judith Viss of the Netherlands not only in 5th, but they are the 3rd of our European sleds. Looking at a European medal here.
Talked about these two being a doctor and a professor. They definitely have the highest IQs in the field.
Gotta say, 5:31 getaway, upping the ante a little bit. 5th fastest start, John, in the first heat. 5th fastest slide.
She went 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. She was in that little medium where 4 sleds at stupid speed at the bottom part of the track. These are good lines. Can she get through here cleanly?
Yeah, that's good. She's steering to keep off the walls and out of the snow.
118-kilometer speed.
1:17.7, that's still good.
Still good speed.
She's a little behind Alana Myers of the USA and may stay behind.
No, he could be bumped there.
Big boom, you heard the
She's got a chance there on Echovon if the sled comes perfectly straight at us. And this is for a European Championship medal, too. Down to 5. She's bringing it back. This is going to be right to the 100th again.
Close.
No.
900's back, 51.92.
And she falls behind Curiasis. I think that's going to cost her. That's going to cost her a medal in the European Championship.
She does fall behind Sandra Curiasis into 3rd. It may end up costing her a bronze medal in the Europeans. Nikki Minicelli, the coach, former women's world champion in bobsled, of course.
Minute.
Yeah.
Mistake.
Oh, she knows she gave it away.
Very, very critical of herself. Doesn't have to be. Of course, she's a doctor, too, so the speed, Echovald, you could see she had the 3rd best speed. Curiasis with the best speed. Campos, she needed another 1/10 of a kilometer to overcome. Look at her coach
There's
at the
Joe,
bottom.
yeah.
Just missed beating Curiasis.
And in the background,
look at the Germans celebrating with the
celebrates.
Germans.
She knows she's going to be on the European podium. Well, Jasmine Fenlager and Lolo Jones, newly confirmed US Olympic duo to go as one of their huge operations of the games. 5.25,
that's a great
start.
600's better than their first run. Wow. And speed, 60.8. Good. Ventilator, great first run. She's had problems with consistency, though.
200s off the top 3 in the first heat.
That's not good.
A huge
There's her problem.
Well, she had that in the first run, didn't she?
No, first run she was fine. First run she was fine.
Myers that had that skid?
Myers had that skid. Last week she had the same thing. 1 good heat, 1 bad heat. It's not tennis. You can't throw one of these out. You got to keep them. Jasmine's going to fall behind her teammate here.
She's down to 4th already.
Yeah, she's going to fall a couple places.
Alana Myers could end up in the podium position here from 8th spot in heat 1.
Good run in the first heat. Second heat, great start, but no.
5th place.
6th best
later. Well, still 52.14, only 200s off the leading time from the first heat.
Yeah, but she was sideways. That was the worst sled we've seen come down through that straightaway.
Should have been a lot faster.
Just got to be consistent. Look at the runners. Comes out a little early.
Comes off into the snow.
Now she's trying to steer around that bend away.
And
the back end, look at the back end.
Should have taken the hit. Steering in the snow. Rear steer.
She had 116.6. She was a kilometer down.
Alana Myers from Sandra Curiasis and Esme Campus, 3 to go. Martin Haven. Martin Haven, John Morgan, trackside for you here in Königssee in Bavaria. Final 3 sleds of the regular season, the last World Cup of the year. Kathleen Martini of Germany with Kristen Zenkel, former European champions. They lie in 3rd place, and John, they got a shot here at the European gold medal.
Yeah, 5:32 in the first run, start. She gives up time at the start. There it is again. Her thing, though, is get in the sled and drive the perfect line down the track. She is one of the better pilots. The only person that could challenge her driving abilities is her teammate Curiasis. And boy, do they have a rivalry against each other. And for Kathleen Martini to come out here with the European title, big deal for her in the German market. Speed. She usually is a great speed master. 1:17.5 though.
It's good.
It's fifth best speed
Might
though.
not be enough.
It's red numbers.
Alana Myers in the USA, 8th in Heat 1, had an outstanding drive. She has the lead and the gap is growing. Martini is not going to make it. She will not be on the podium.
Oh, she's gonna
The
fall back a
Germans
couple
will not
spots.
have a top 3 finish here at the heart of Bavaria.
Fifth best time of the run. She falls all the way back behind her
Fifth
teammate.
spot.
Oh,
Kiriasis lies second behind Alana Myers with 2 to go.
I'm telling you, the Germans haven't had a lot to be positive about this weekend.
Yeah. Well, 2 sleds will tell us whether Sandra Kiriasis will finish her World Cup career with a medal or not.
Look at the body language.
Yeah.
Mark Wolf, the ZDF commentator.
ZDF down there, he'll be going in for a word when he thinks the coast is clear.
Look at these lines. Didn't have the speed. I think those little, look how low she got there, then back up. That's unlike her. She's probably been down the track as much as anybody in the field. There's Matthias Hofter, the coach. Kathleen.
Yeah.
Says it all in her face.
Well, what about this young lady? Fabienne Meyer of Switzerland, second after the first heat, 200s off the lead. She took the race to Kaylee Humphries. Kathleen Martini was 3/10 adrift in the first heat. And this girl, hot off a bronze medal, first ever podium on home ice in St. Moritz 2 weeks ago. Her confidence is sky high.
Her new brakeman, Tanya Meyer, different spelling. 5:33 in the first heat. I've been talking about how fast these Swiss sleds are on this track, the history of it. Meyer was unbelievable. 5:31, 200's better. Really good velocity, too.
Yeah.
Didn't like that entrance to curve 1. 61.2 is good. She's got 3/10 lead, and she flew on the bottom part of this track like no one else.
Could win her first ever World Cup race. We had a first-time winner in the 2-man yesterday.
This is for the European title, too, though.
Oh, yeah, this is to be the top European sled.
If she just finishes at the bottom of the track ahead of Kiriasis, this will be the biggest moment of her bobsled life.
Great exit into the S's. She was super smooth here last time. Another good run, 2700s.
Only one more spot where she can make the crucial error. Right here.
Still in front. Meyer ahead of Myers.
She's got enough.
3100. She's going to be the European champion for Switzerland. Wow. 51.87 run. The Swiss have won 2 European Championship golds in bobsled.
And look at the crowd here from Germany.
It's usually you get a rapturous reception here, but when you've beaten the Germans.
The Swiss have done so well on this track. Not yesterday when they got first and second, the Europeans second and fourth in the competition, but through the history on this track. And Fabienne Meyer, speed, everything she did, and not with the great start time she's got. Well, that 5th best start to date isn't bad, but this wasn't a perfect exit of Eckelvan.
Schneidi offers her great congratulations. Fabienne Meyer, what a last 3 weeks she's had.
She's been behind Spani as a Swiss 1 pilot. I think she's emerged now with this European Championship.
Well, now then, the European champion has been anointed, but who's going to win this final race of the World Cup? And the World Cup crown should go to Kaylee Humphries with Heather Moyse. Start records to lead the first heat. They need to do the same again.
Well, it's ridiculous what they did in the first round. World-class rugby player in the back. Heather Moyse. Kaylee Humphries, 5:17 in the first run. They match it.
The start record.
They match it. Now, it's her race to lose. This is the Olympic champion. This is she's going to win the World Cup title for this season, and I think she's out to make a statement. It's my gold medal you got to take from me, but that's not how to do it right there.
One thing we know about Kaylee Humphries is she knows how to withstand
Watch out
pressure.
for the speed, 1:16.6, that's a kilometer plus down.
Quarter of a second up. She was only 200s in front of the Swiss after the first run, and it's
She's going to win the event.
Fabienne Meyer might win this race. Will this be the first overall win? Kaylee Humphries has gone behind. She'll still be the World Cup champion.
Oh, she's
but
skinny.
Fabienne Meyer
Big
of Switzerland is going to win this. What a sensational weekend for Switzerland.
Unbelievable. Can't believe this.
And look at the faces in the crowd. Wow. Not only was Kaylee not the winner, she wasn't even second. Bronze medal for Kaylee Humphries of Canada with Heather Moyse. Wow, Fabienne Meyer wins in Königssee. Well, this afternoon this will be forgotten by Kaylee, but right now she is kicking herself. Let's look at what we're going to see out onto the bend away. Brings it down a fraction early, taps the inside wall. That sets off the skid, tap, tap. Hits the wall again, and look at that right-hand side run as we see it, ploughing the snow. Hugs Heather Moyse. They will come back. But what a sensation. Fabienne Meyer and Tanja Meyer, they are European champions for Switzerland, same as Beat Hefti was yesterday, but they win the race. First ever World Cup victory for Fabienne Meyer. The last 2 weeks, she took bronze in St. Moritz, 11th in Eagles, gold now. Wow. That's only her 6th, I believe, World Cup podium and her first ever senior victory. Fabienne Meyer of Switzerland, the former junior world champion. She won the title back in 2008. The maturity has taken time, the consistency has taken time, but now that is the game changer for Swiss women's bobsledding. Well, an electrifying run from teammate Caroline Sparning put her 9th, but what a stunner from Fabienne Meyer to win the race here and to silence this passionate crowd in Königssee in Bavaria. 200s behind Kaylee Humphries. She beat her down the track by half a second to go 2800s up. And Alana Myers came from 8th in the first heat to the silver medal. Now, how does that work out? Kaylee Humphries will still be the World Cup champion, I believe. But we'll have to wait and see the final score. I do not trust my mental arithmetic. Stay with us live for much more from our top 3 here in Königssee. So, let's take a look at the maths. Unofficially now, for second place, Alana Myers gets 210 points. For third place, Kaylee Humphries gets 200 points. Myers was 18 to 29, 11 points back. Kaylee wins the season by 1 point. Wow. If that is right, that is insane. Over 1,600 points in the year, and by my quick arithmetic, they will be 1 point apart. Wow. Well, Kaylee Humphries, 3 wins this year. Jamie Grubel claimed victory last time out in Eagles. Alana Myers, 2 wins, double bubble weekend in Park City, Utah. Santa Kyriasis, the winner in Winterberg, Germany. And of course, Kaylee's big day in St. Moritz, one of her 3 wins, 10th in the first heat, gold in the second. And Alana Myers, she took bronze in that race, slipped 1 from the silver medal position to the bronze, but was thrilled to claim a medal on home ice in St. Moritz. Wow, I can't imagine how excited she's going to be today, not just taking the European Championship gold, but beating the entire world to take her first ever World Cup gold medal. Well, we've got a lot to get through down there in the podium with the World Cup, the European Championship and the World Cup season title Crystal Globes to be dealt with this afternoon. We've also got the final run of the 4-man bobsleigh. Friends there from the UK in the crowd. Class of Nations down there at the bottom. Well, welcome back to a snowy Königssee in Bavaria. The sensational first heat put us in for an epic finale to the Women's World Cup. And by 1 single point over a spread of more than 1,600 won this season, Kaylee Humphries is the World Cup champion from Alana Myers. It could hardly be tighter. Jamie Grubel, 3rd in the standings. What a season for the American girl. And Alana Myers, a really strong run from her as well. Almost grabbed it in the final slide of the final race of the regular season. Well, we've got a first-time winner on our hands here for the second time this weekend. Yesterday in red and white of Canada, Justin Cripps took his first ever podium, his first ever win. Fabienne Meyer of Switzerland took not her first ever podium, her sixth, but this is her first ever World Cup victory and the first of Swiss women's bobsledding for some while. Sandra Kyriasis, silver medal in the Europeans, in second place in that competition, and third in the Europeans for the Dutch. Esme Campus ahead of Elfie Willemsen, Kathleen Martini and Caroline Spani. Paula Walker of Great Britain, seventh spot in the European Championship. And the overall race victory, as well as the European Championship gold, going to Fabienne Meyer of Switzerland. Well, the diminutive Fabienne, just 1.67 m, 5'6" of her, is the European champion and the World Cup race winner for the first time in her career, with Ariane Valser behind her, I beg your pardon, with Tanja Meyer behind her. The taller of the two, Switzerland on the top step of the podium. Lana Myers, Asia Evans in second, Kaylee Humphries, Heather Moyes in third spot. Well, let's get down and hear from them in a moment, but let's take a look at our winning run. Good start from the Swiss girls once more. And Fabienne Meyer produced another golden run. A great touch in the first heat to put her within 200ths of what looked like the runaway leader, Kaylee Humphries. Suddenly it was game on, and then she outdrove the world and Olympic champion. Humphries making too many mistakes on the bend away here halfway down the course. Fabienne Meyer was clean as a whistle. You think they're liking that? I think they are too. Let's hear how much they are liking it. Let's get down to that finish area and join John Morgan.
Okay, third place team Kaylee Humphries, Heather Moyes, start record in the first run, and things went well in the first run. Second run, little mistake out of the S. Could you feel it?
Oh yeah, I felt it. It was more the bottom though. That was where we lost it all. So a little mistake out of S4. Yes, that wasn't the worst, didn't help, but it was definitely out of echo in the second last corner that all the big mistakes happened. So, I mean, you live and learn, and we move on.
Well, move on to Sochi, ladies. We'll be looking forward to it. Now over to second place. Nice comeback here from Team Myers. Good starts. Happy with both drives.
You know, I think the first drive could have been a little bit better. Exit Kreisel got me a little bit, but the second drive we really fought, and that shows in our finish. We fought to the very end.
Obviously, nice medal. Way to go into Sochi. See you there. Wow. Okay, you wake up this morning. Did you think you could win a medal, much less the gold?
No, I think I have today a nice race. Yes, we are in the front, but we are win. No, but it is nice.
Well, nice. What a great weekend for Switzerland. Enjoy the moment, ladies.
Nice bit of Schweizer English there, but Fabienne Meyer, the emotion is clear. Her first ever World Cup win, and the emotion too for Kaylee Humphries. She and Heather Moyes will come back to defend their Olympic title, strong as ever. Alana Myers and Asia Evans, the silver medal from 8th place in the first heat. Alana going very nearly a full second quicker in her second run. Wow, disappointment for the Germans, no podium for them. Sandra Kyriasis takes 4th place in her last ever World Cup race. It's Auf Wiedersehen to Sandra, it's Auf Wiedersehen to women's bobsled for the World Cup this year. And we will have one last slide of the regular season still to come from the four-man. Join us for that as we say goodbye for a moment from Königssee.